love Michigan sports. Red Wings, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Michigan State, and the list goes on. And you love beer. Love beer. Who doesn't? What if we mixed the two together? This is State of My Sports. We'll talk everything Michigan sports, like only we do, and then we'll down our fair share of beer from a local brewery, grading the beer throughout the episode. So pop a cold one on your end, and we'll get busy on ours. This is the State of My Sports.
That's right, everybody. This is State of My Sports, and this is episode 161. We are at DeHop's Brewing Company and Cafe. Excited to hit on some Michigan sports. We have to talk about these Tigers. I'm already done with them and have so many questions I just feel like need answered. So Ryan's back. He's going to answer some of these questions. Micah, I want you to be part of the conversation too. Don't let Ryan run this whole show now that he's back, okay?
I can tell you guys what's going on. Tigers?
I am excited to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on. With the NBA draft next week, Thursday, we will talk about some of the latest rumors and trade discussions. We're going to do mock draft 2.0. In our Betting Hero segment, we will draft our U.S. Open Fearsome Foursome. And, of course, we will grade some Michigan beer from the DeHop's Brewing Company and Cafe. If you're joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, let us know and be part of the conversation in the comments. Let us know what you're drinking, and then let us know where we're right or wrong in the comments. People seem to really like to comment after the fact and tell us what we said wrong instead of just watching live and telling us what we're saying wrong in the moment. So I encourage people that are watching live to tell us. Be part of the conversation.
Why do we have to be wrong? Why can't they just agree with what we're saying?
I don't know. I don't understand why they don't just realize it's an opinion. You know?
But we're right like all the time, right?
Opinions
I believe
facts hurt more.
I believe we're right. Facts are mean and they hurt your feelings sometimes. But
yep.
We're good at doing that.
They don't care though.
No, they don't. The House Brewing Company is the official brewery of State of My Sports. Oh, these are their sponsors that I wanted to say help keep this thing rolling. And for our listeners, the House Brewing Company and Cafe. Mac Web Design helped us get our website up and running, and Betting Hero helps us and you get the best promotions available in the sports betting world. I am Sam Waldhart. With me today, we got Micah Smith and Ryan Waldhart back from vacation. How was vacation?
All the way back. Does this sound okay? Do I sound fine, or am I hitting low here?
I think you sound good.
You sound good.
Let me pull up the...
You sound good.
Yeah, if you could. It
looks like maybe high, actually.
Pretty hard, yeah.
Maybe the opposite.
No, it was good, though. It was a work trip, not a vacation. I know you always get that confused with me specifically, but...
Nobody else takes vacations for work.
No, honestly, I was more impressed with how hot he came in from halfway across the world to...
So first you say, I look good, and I appreciated that. Now you can say he's hot. He came in hot.
Coming in hot?
Right, yeah. No, I won that one. If I'm hot and you were looking okay or whatever it was, pretty good, then I think I won.
Okay, so you guys are welcome, all right?
Yeah.
You haven't heard that in a while.
Appreciate it.
No. Explain your story, because I was pretty impressed.
No, it's it's the best part of the story. So, yeah, I'm over in Germany. Was there for, really, it was kind of two trips combined into one with one, evening in between. But I went to New York for a week, basically. Came back, left the first thing the next morning, went to Germany for a couple weeks. It was really a great trip. Spent a weekend in the Alps, in the Austrian Alps, actually, which was, the hiking was amazing. Went mountain biking, completely amazing. But the highlight, I think, is you're spot on, Micah. So I was coming back, and... He
was coming in hot.
I was flying back from Germany early Wednesday morning over in Germany. So... Get in the plane, get here, have a connection in Detroit. I tried to rent a car to make sure I got back for recital, because at the same day I'm coming home, there's the dance recital, and that's Jillian's
big thing.
Yeah, the big thing for the year. So I have to make it. My kids have 7 or 8 dances or something they're doing that night. So I had to be there. So I'm showing up in Detroit around 1:30. I tried to rent a car. No cars available.
Oh, boy.
So now I'm completely relying on the flight from Detroit to Grand Rapids, which anybody knows those are the flights that get delayed.
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
Everything worked out. I land in GR at 5:30 p.m. I drive home as fast as I can, get stuck in traffic, freak out a little bit, call my parents like, hey, can you help? Oh, never mind. I'm moving now.
Yeah.
Get home, shower, change, don't have time to go get flowers, get to the recital at 6:45, 15 minutes before it starts. Go hug my kids a little bit, jump in the front row, and then watch a great show.
Yeah, that was such a fun recital.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
That one dance of just Ari and CC, my goodness, that is the cutest. That was such a good dance. That
the
was
sailor
fun.
dance?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I may be
was
biased, but I just
that was your
I
highlight.
was loving
At
it.
least
Yeah.
part of it, for sure. Jarrett, being serious as he usually is drinking a bottle of water. What bottle of water do you prefer if you can choose one? Also, screw Dasani.
Fiji's not bad. I agree, Kyle.
Fiji's probably good. I would assume. I'm not really a bottled water guy, honestly.
I think Nestle's got some of the best water.
I've got Ice Mountain here.
Ice Mountain.
Isn't that like Cedar Springs?
It's made in Cedar Springs?
Well, isn't it? Isn't that where they get it from?
I have no idea. I don't know much about bottled water. I drink out of my Berkey. I like that thing. That thing's good.
That's good stuff.
That gets it all out. I love that thing. Then I just drink tap water out of the
So
Berkey.
when I was in the Alps, I actually drank out of the river, which I was told not to do. I was told there was risk, but I figured I was like high enough in the mountain. It's probably pretty fresh.
Walking miracle.
I don't know. I guess. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be able to do that? Like, why wouldn't they want you to?
Well, like everything, water goes downhill. So
it
if
filters throughout the beginning?
No, I'm just saying. So like the valleys where the rivers are, where you're going to drink the water from, collect from the mountain itself. So if there's enough like animal feces and everything draining down there, then you're kind of drinking a little. There's some risk involved.
It's weird to think about. Yeah.
So it was clean by the time it got to your hands and to your lips?
That was what I was hoping for. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I banked on it. I took the risk.
Man.
Well, I went out hiking on like a 3.5 hour hike, and I didn't have any water. So planned ahead for that one.
You said your coworker encouraged you to take water. And
yeah, they all had water,
nah.
but I didn't. Yeah, and then they turned around and they were like, "Here's some water. Here's a backpack." And I'm like, "No, you guys don't understand. I just want to go to the top of the mountain.
I don't want to carry
not
anything.
Taking that. Yeah.
If I carry it, I will be going home with you guys. That's why I didn't carry anything. So I'm not a wuss and have to turn back with you.
Yeah, that's added weight, right?
Exactly. No reason to do that. But it was good though.
Oh, it was awesome.
And you saw. So we're from Austria. Our family is, right?
Yes.
And then you found a store.
I found a store
called
Waldhart. It's
the Waldhart store.
It's a Waldhart brand. Yeah, it's spelled exactly the same.
Was it like clothing store?
It's a clothing store. It's a sport house. So one side of it was sport house. The other one was actually like female clothes. I guess. I don't know.
Which is sport
so
house.
What did you bring home?
It was closed. So I was there. It was actually a long weekend. So on Monday is when I did a lot of my hiking. Sunday I went mountain biking, and Saturday we traveled and got there. So Monday was the holiday, and everything I guess is closed in the Alps on holiday weekend. That's when everything would be open in the U.S. and over there they're like, "Nah, screw everybody. We just want to go hike with you."
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I was not able to go in there, but I do have the website, and I'm considering ordering some stuff.
I want to order something too. So I'll shipping and stuff. Yeah, I'll jump on that bandwagon for sure. Micah, if you want in. Sorry, you can't because you're not a Waldhart.
That's true.
Sorry, rules.
Hey, man.
I don't make them. I just enforce them.
I got a pretty worldly name. I'll just stick with that.
Yeah, there's got to be a Smith shop somewhere. What'd you do this week, Micah? Good weekend?
Yeah, great weekend. We spent some time up north with some friends at their cottage. Took the kids out on their pontoon boat, tubing. Kids had a riot. Weather was a little questionable Saturday, but Sunday it turned out to be a beautiful day. So
that's good.
Had a great weekend. How about you?
I actually went on so Trav, you guys know Trav, friend of the show. He bought a boat last summer in Cadillac. So it's a 1969 Meyer brand boat. I don't know if that's any good, but it's like a full like aluminum boat.
Like Meyer?
Nope, spelled different. It's like Myers or something like that. With like a 1970 Merc like motor brand, like barely ever used. Whoa. Like maybe 40 hours on this motor. And he found it in somebody's garage that they were selling it. It was like their dad's. He bought it brand new, did all the work himself or whatever, took it out like once a year just for like a fishing trip with his friends. He ended up dying in like 1987, and then it was in their garage ever since. And like, but they would like take it out, clean it, and like take it to the mechanic. Would it be a mechanic if it's a boat? Is it still a
Yeah.
mechanic,
Yeah.
right? Just to like fix make sure that
Probably, yeah.
like I didn't know if mechanic meant for cars, and then they have like a different word for boats. But anyways,
Moving parts.
yeah. So he bought this, and they took care of it. They cleaned it and made sure it was like, but they never got it on the water since 1987. So he
Whoa.
got this boat, and then he put it in this old wooden boat and antique boat show in Spring Lake, and he invited me to go. And it's so funny because we're like half the age of all of these people, literally just old timers talking about their sisters and sister-in-laws, like brothers, uncles' boat in Florida that he almost bought. Like, we're just hearing all these stories that mean absolutely nothing to us. We're just like, oh yeah, all right, this is cool. These guys loved us, and they loved the boat too. Like, I mean,
They're
it's
like
a cool
fresh
looking
blood,
boat.
you guys.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like a cool looking boat.
This
But
is
like,
gonna go for 3 more years at least.
if I saw it on the water, I'd be like, oh, look at that junker. Like, I mean, it's in good shape, but it's like, in my eyes, it's not antique. Like, you can't look at it and be like, oh, wow, this is cool, this is cool. It just kind of is what it is, you know?
Now I'm curious. I want to see it.
I'll show you some pictures after the fact. But it won, or we won, or he won, I should say. I like to say we because I was there. But and I feel like I might have greased some palms to get these votes in or something. But it was, what did we get? Oh, shoot.
What did he get? Not you.
Best unrestored. So like a lot of these are like wooden boats that
Yeah.
people restore, like 40s and stuff like that. Brand new, all that stuff, and never restored. And we just got first place in best unrestored.
So my favorite part about your day that day, so we finish up with Max's game, and I was like, hey, where's Sam at? And Andrew goes, he's at a boat show with Trav. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm thinking like speedboats and sailboats and yachts. And she goes, look at this boat that Sam sent me. And it's
Not junk.
it's like a little metal dinghy
You're winning awards.
We won an award.
with a motor on the back.
Yeah.
And we were both cracking up in the parking lot, and I'm like, like an old boat show.
Yeah, it was antique boat show. It was an antique boat show.
I think.
Am I getting chirped? I'm sure I am.
No. I think they're really liking what they're hearing. Kyle says, I love to hear Sam talk motors. Jared said it really revs his engine. Yeah, I think it's this is a good conversation.
Let's just keep that going.
Nobody should read.
We'll cut the Pistons and just.
You're talking about like
keep
what they're
that-
eating for dinner and stuff. It's completely
But no,
ridiculous.
it was a good time. We won that, and then yesterday we worked on the house, got all the electrical done in our little remodel. So it was good.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah. Let's get into what we're drinking tonight. That's what the new way of doing things. We get it into our beer introductions, Ryan.
Oh, right
and
away.
then we go into the flight segment.
How many weeks have you been doing this?
Probably week 4 now, I
Oh,
would
okay.
guess. So we make changes when you're gone. We don't tell you about
All right,
it.
no, that's fine.
But what we're drinking today is Thirsty Miner. Micah, can you tell us a little bit about this one?
The Thirsty Miner is a 6.7 43 IBU. This is brewed for all of our friends at the Mines Golf Course. This Brute IPA is packed with Simcoe, Amarillo, and Citra hops. It has aromas of stone fruit, never heard of that,
Stone fruit?
citrus, and pine.
Stone fruit's good.
It's crisp on the palate with juicy notes of tropical fruit and pineapple, and it finishes dry, extra dry, it says. And it's available in 6-packs. Sam's holding up the can.
Yeah, so is this a play on it being a dry golf course? And then everybody's thirsty coming out of there and get a beer?
I feel like it might be. You know, obviously they're bringing alcohol onto the course. I don't know if this is a first or if this has been reoccurring for some time, but ever since I went the first couple years, you weren't allowed to bring any beer on the course. They didn't sell beer. You weren't allowed to bring it, period.
But people did, though.
But people did.
So this is it. This is what they want you to bring.
Last time I went to the Mines was like right after things opened from COVID. Like it was, I think, the day you were allowed to start golfing again.
Oh,
and then they weren't allowed to sell alcohol then, but I didn't know that was their thing. Like I didn't know they weren't allowed to do that, or they didn't do that. The Mines is the one right down Colville, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Have you ever played there?
I have, yeah.
It's a really nice course.
I like that course.
I actually have never played there.
You haven't?
Nope.
Yeah,
never.
that's nice.
Look, I'm not a good golfer.
Let's go to the mines.
We should. I'm down to drink some of these,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like one thing I noticed with that course is like you can get lost in those woods quickly.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like you have to stay straight. Like it's probably not the longest course, but you have to have some good drives for sure. But have any comments of what's being drank other than water that we heard earlier?
Oh,
Looks like Carrie. Yeah, what's she drinking?
She's drinking Fritz's Folly. Is that Folly? Folly. Fritz's Folly
Incredible
from
face.
Archival Brewing.
Archival.
Very nice.
That's
Excellent.
the one that has the disc golf course, right?
Basically in their backyard.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. Actually, I'll be over there tomorrow for maybe
Softball.
I don't know. Yeah, for softball, but I might have a conflict. I don't know. I was gonna say I was gonna be over there, but now I'm actually thinking about it. I gotta plan my life.
Do you guys usually go to Shots afterwards and have a drink or so?
Yeah, we normally do. We'll stop in. Yeah, I take my pick who's gonna be there and who's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I come?
Oh.
Yeah, you want to go?
I would love to play, but
Our
you need a
I'll
sub.
let you know. I'll let you know. Yeah.
I'm sure it's not.
We don't
bad.
do that.
But
Our good
Kyle,
friend
what is
Kyle?
what's he-
Drinking
ooh.
Dewar's 12.
All 12 of them?
Very nice.
Well, you couldn't afford Dewar's 1?
Not so bad.
Well, I don't think you would want Dewar's 1.
No. Why
It's
was
not
that?
aged for very long.
Oh, so that's how long it's aged for?
Yes.
12 years.
All right, so Kyle he brags about drinking scotch all the time. That's a scotch, right?
Dewar's? I can't remember.
I
want to say
actually don't
Dewar's
know.
is a scotch.
I don't know.
He's going to comment in 3.
Yeah, Kyle, let us
2,
know if that's a scotch.
1.
And also, if you drink scotch all the time, then why haven't we done that?
Because he doesn't
together?
drink bourbon.
No, I don't
He
care.
doesn't
I like
drink
bourbon, but
bourbon.
I
Yeah.
like scotch too.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's go. Hey, Kyle, let's drink some scotch sometime.
Scottish whiskey.
It is always beer at the house, and I don't know, like, we don't have to always drink beer.
I hardly
really-
ever drink beer.
I
at your
hardly
house.
drink beer outside of the podcast, really. And sometimes at home, but, like, I don't know. Kyle said he doesn't brag, but we all know he does.
I don't brag.
Before we jump into our DeHop's Beer Flight segment, I want to remind everyone that DeHop's Brewing Company and Cafe is serving incredible food and pouring some of the best craft beer in West Michigan. Chef Dan's revamped food menu and head brewer Ben's rotating taps, wine, and ciders make DeHop's perfect for whatever you have going on, from dinner with the family, late night drinks with friends, and everything in between. The Ben and Dan duo is putting a ton of their time and energy at making DeHop's a staple in the West Michigan restaurant community that we highly recommend to our friends and listeners. They have Taco Tuesday, which is tomorrow, Stein Night Wednesday, Thursday, any burger and beer for $15, along with some unbelievable specials on Fridays and Saturdays. We highly recommend following them on Instagram and Facebook, where they share their weekly specials and some incredible food and beer pictures that will make your mouth water. DeHop's is the official brewery of State of My Sports in 2022, and if you mention State of My Sports, you get a nice little discount off your first beer. I said that last time too.
Beer off your first
Discount.
Nice
discount.
little
Yeah.
beer off your discount.
I've
Well, yeah.
actually never done that. I've never mentioned State of My Sports. I really should.
You
Start to do
get
that.
a little discount, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of this beer so far, though?
I'm
think
about
it's
to
nice.
try.
You guys haven't tried. I like the pineapple, man. I can taste the pineapple.
First sip.
Big,
It's
big,
actually, first sip is really good.
big fan.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, let's get into our beer flight segment. We were just talking about Kyle and his snobbiness of scotch. But tomorrow, June 14, is Ryan's favorite holiday, right? That's what you wanted to talk about today?
Yeah. Well, that's what
It
you
is
told me that I should talk about.
Yeah, every time you're like, what do you want me to do? Just tell me what to do. I'm like,
just
this isn't-
tell me.
It's not
I'll
the
wing it.
point of the flight segment, but that's fine. That's
I'm excited about this.
all right.
Oh, really?
So National Bourbon
Yeah.
Day is tomorrow.
You know how many times you and I talk bourbon and never drink it together?
And this is also the first
Yeah, no,
time
you're right.
that you guys
You're
have been
right.
excited about a national day that I've brought up. How many times have I tried to do this with National, Banana Split Day, and you guys just, Trav's getting lost on what we're talking about.
Can you try harder?
I thought this was a good effort. I'm glad that you guys are excited about this, but I don't know. Like, all right. So basically, you want to talk about your go-tos, right? Your go-to bourbons
Yeah.
to celebrate National Bourbon Day.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right. And Mikey, you can chime in
it.
too. I'm gonna go.
So I've
take a
just
break.
got a top 3. Is that okay?
That works. This is your flight segment.
I know. I just hold on. I got to make sure I don't.
He doesn't remember
I got to make
names.
sure I don't list 10.
All right, I'm gonna give you my number 3 first. Okay, this one was a surprise. I found it.
Kyle's all mad that we won't let him drink scotch. All right, if you can find a scotch from
Jim
Michigan, I'll let
Beam.
you drink it.
Jim Beam. Oh,
Good
gosh.
luck. Your time starts now.
All right, this is a surprise. I think I had this probably 4 months ago, And then I've gone to it a few different times since, and it's turning into a go-to. So it's going to be my number 3, Old Elk bourbon.
Old Elk.
Old Elk.
Never
You guys
heard
ever
of
seen
All
it?
right.
No.
I got it. I have.
I have seen that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that you say that,
All
yeah.
right. It's worth it. I'm telling you, it's really, really good. It's so drinkable. You don't need to mix or anything. Some people really like mixing their bourbons and,
Yeah.
like putting some bitters in there and everything.
They're
This
50 or they're
does not need it.
$100 bottle? Because I would assume one's their straight, one's their blend, right?
Yeah, yeah. And their $50 bottle is just fine. Like it'll
Perfect.
do. So so what I did is had a taste test between this and like 3 others, like Bullet Rye
straight,
and
just straight sip it.
Yeah,
Sip
just
on it?
straight. Yep. And Old Elk for me at the time was my favorite easily.
You mentioned Bullet Rye just now, right?
Yeah.
Do you like Bullet Rye?
I'm not
just like a base.
I feel like rye bourbons need to be mixed with something.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like age expired. That's kind of what's going for. It didn't go well.
Old Elk, number 3. I'll
right.
jump in number 2. Double oaked Woodford Reserve.
Very nice.
Double oak.
What does
there's
double
a big
oaked
there's a
mean?
big difference between single barrel and double barrel or double oak.
What does that mean exactly?
Two different barrels, right? So
So they age it in a barrel, then
Yep.
move it to another barrel.
Yep.
And age it again.
Yes,
It's that simple.
2 different oaks,
correct.
double oaked.
So
Okay.
what I believe what they do is they go with twice or 3 times used barrel, and then they bring it to a fresh barrel, right? Like have both options, I think, in there.
It may differ from distillery to distillery.
No, but Woodford Reserve specifically, I believe they bring in a brand new barrel and age it for like a year or 2, and then they age it long term in a used barrel before.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So yeah, that. Do you have anything else to say about that one?
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
bourbon.
I huge fan of that one. And then my number 1,
We all know.
I've said it a few
Yeah.
different times. So what do you guys think? What do you think?
Angel's
it
Envy.
Angel's
Yeah.
Envy.
is? Angel's Envy is so good.
Yeah.
I will. That is my go-to no matter what. Doesn't matter what other option. I had Whistle Pig recently, and I went back to Angel's Envy. And was like, this is my preference.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to try those 2 back to back.
That's what I got to do.
Really?
Yeah, and Angel's Envy to me. I'm sorry, it was just better. I liked it better.
There's a lot of Whistle Pig out there. Like you don't just have a Whistle Pig. Like there's 10,
Oink.
12.
You know what? I don't even know what it was. I had it at Leo's, and so I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah. They don't serve low end at Leo's.
They just asked me what it was or like what we wanted. We did that, and it was what it was.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't even know what it was.
I've never gotten into bourbon. I like it. Like when you make old fashions and stuff, I love that.
Yeah.
I went to what's that place downtown? One Bourbon. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. And it had like an old fashioned there. That was really good. And then we were actually out at where was I?
Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse.
Your wife was raving about your drink.
It was our gift card night where we just take our gift cards and go use them that we've had. So we went to Outback Steakhouse and Applebee's for dessert, and it was like, but the guy at the bar, he got like he came there just to have this old fashioned that nobody else will have. And he had, what was in it? What did I say was in it? Like
crazy at Outback.
Outback?
So it was like smoked and stuff. Like they had like the cover on it, which was really good. Like they did a good job with it. But like they put, was it butter shots in it? Isn't that what I told you?
No. Oh, shoot.
Or butterscotch. It was like a butterscotch or something.
Oh, a butterscotch old fashioned?
Yeah.
Bitters.
It was butter bitters?
It was.
Bitter butters?
It
don't know what it was.
was a different bitter. It wasn't just orange bitters.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you don't need orange. Was it?
It was butterscotch.
right.
I think it was butterscotch. I'm 99% sure it was butterscotch.
I kind of remember.
I feel like I told you.
You might have told
But
me.
it was really, really good. It was a great old fashioned.
All right.
Yeah, so go to Outback.
Yeah, I probably will just for that.
It was
Sounds
good.
great.
It was good. But then, that's all we need to
Outback
talk about.
randomly has great steaks.
It was butter pecan syrup.
Butter pecan syrup.
Oh,
Yep. Instead of simple syrup, butter pecan syrup.
I'm a
Okay.
huge fan of not doing simple syrup. and
There's
doing-
Sam
Yeah, you're more of a
Springhouse.
maple syrup guy.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh, that looks great.
Right?
Let me see. Yeah, is that, did we take that picture?
Yeah.
Or did you just find that online?
I
we
think
did.
you sent it.
I did send that to you.
Your wife and I don't really text a whole lot, so it's really easy to find stuff.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Because it's the exact opposite of me and her. So we text
Actually,
all the time.
Leo's one end of the restaurant is low compared to the other.
What?
I think I don't know.
It
Doesn't
Can
matter.
you please just contribute? Please.
He
Just
doesn't.
for a
He'll
minute.
never contribute.
We should get on his podcast and just sabotage it.
So Kyle was just saying one time in college you got double oaked.
It might have been double oaked. I have no idea.
He doesn't remember, Kyle. I think that's.
So I might have
What-
got double
hold on.
yoked or joked.
What
or-
are the chances we get on his podcast and just talk Nickelodeon all day?
Yes, exactly. Just take shots at Disney and all the corruption in there. That would be fun. All right, let's change.
Was that
over.
okay? Was that
That
an
was-
okay segment
That
there?
that was probably your best flight segment. If
Yeah?
if I don't
Because
say
I was
so
passionate
myself.
about it.
Yeah, I could tell you were excited. You lit up like a Christmas tree when it was time. All right, Micah, what do you want to talk about today?
So, the Stanley Cup Finals are upon us. We are, let me see here, less than 48 hours until the Avalanche and the Tampa Bay Lightning get underway. So, what I wanted to get into was kind of what we've seen throughout the season, but more specifically in the postseason. How these teams have progressed through the postseason. And I think you can really nail down your X factors of your coach, who has been, for New York to bring in Gerard Gallant has been a game changer.
That was huge. They were
Game changer.
They were in the lottery the year before,
Exactly.
and now here they are in the conference finals, or
Exactly.
losing in the conference finals
Who are they losing
They
to?
were in the lottery 2 years,
2 years in a row.
right?
I don't remember. I thought it was last year, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I'm probably wrong. You're probably right. Nonetheless, X Factor, their coach is a game changer, and we've seen it. The coaching from the Avs, the coaching from New York, the coaching from Tampa,
Yep.
it all plays a massive part. Every hockey fan, every sports fan knows coaching matters. Fewer fans know that good coaching really does matter.
It makes a huge difference, and in a sport where I mean, you can find different ways to in other sports to mean something, but like hockey, you control the matchup when you're on home ice. And
Yep.
that is such an
Yep.
important thing. And when you can have a good coach, and that's one thing that I was really surprised with Colorado. And I'm sorry, his name escapes me a little bit. But the way he was able to neutralize the Edmonton Oilers, like they couldn't just get going because he had last change for the most part, obviously in the 2 games. But like he did such a good job at just shutting those guys down, or at least just like getting to the point and be like, limit it, control
right.
it, and let it go. You know,
Right.
This series was a little closer than a sweep tells you, but I mean, jeez. Yeah, but they're also, these are the 2 most talented teams. Like, I get the coaching thing,
Right.
and it's important in Detroit right
Right.
now because we're looking for a coach, but, like, the talent level is just through the roof compared to what we have.
Oh yeah. The talent's one thing, but when I was watching New York and Tampa go at it, you kind of thought, oh boy, I think New York might kind of get Tampa this year, and
Yeah.
I mean I think Gerard is going to be a mainstay for the next at least 3 years.
It's a good fit in New York, for sure.
He's a great fit. So, congrats to New York. You guys made it that far, but now we're looking at Colorado, we're looking at Tampa, and we're looking at X factors. And I look at the goalies.
The goalies is, yeah.
They're lights out. And
Well, Tampa's goalie.
yeah.
Tampa's goalie's lights out. I don't know about Colorado.
Really?
Kemper, if he's even healthy, he wasn't even healthy the last 2 games. Like that's an interesting one to me.
So
I'm interested to see how they protect him a little bit because of the way Colorado plays with wide open a little bit and gives up way more chances than most teams. But I also think they did a great job against Edmonton, like I said,
right.
and set it up well. But like Tampa's just a different beast when it comes to that type of level. Like they're going to be so. They're one thing that Tampa does that nobody realizes is how quickly they can be patient, shut down, push everything to the outside, and all of a sudden, the second you make a mistake, boom, the puck's in your back of your net. And then they do it again 2 seconds later. They got 2 goals in 2 minutes, game over. They did it a couple times in this last series.
Who does that?
See,
Lighting?
Tampa.
Yeah.
I think the way I look at Colorado's goaltending is when they were playing Edmonton, Smith was so bad. Honestly, he was
bad.
so bad through most of the postseason. And that's kind of what I'm getting at is the goalies right now in today's NHL are huge factors. You have to have good goaltending. So with the head coach, with the goaltending, and then speed. Speed kills. Every single time. That's what I teach some of the kids when I'm coaching these little kids on the ice right now is, hey, if you guys can gain speed going into the attacking zone, it's going to make that goaltender second guess some of what he's doing in that crease. I mean, you come in slow, and there's a lot of time for that goalie to think.
Yep.
Speed kills, and speed's been killing for years. And these are the things that the Red Wings are lacking, and it drives me crazy. So this is kind of what I wanted to touch on, just kind of relate it to how far away we really are. Maybe we're closer than what we think we are with the cap space, but these are key factors as for the Red Wings being this far away.
This team is so far, and it's because these other teams are so far ahead. Like Red Wings could probably get to the middle of the pack quicker than we realize, but to take a step forward and really truly be a contender, these other teams are going to have to take massive setbacks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is it?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, sorry, but is it similar to where the Tigers are at and with the Pistons too? Where first step is to get to the professional level, and then the next step is to like find something special about your team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it relates more to the Pistons than the Tigers personally, because I think the Tigers could just spend money and fix things if they wanted to.
Easily.
And be a little more aggressive. But in the NBA and NHL, you can't. But I agree. Like, we were watching the basketball game, and it's like, oh, my gosh. Like, they have 3 players that we don't have one of yet.
Yeah.
Both of these teams.
Yep.
And that's just what it is in the NHL, too, is like the Red Wings have nobody. Yeah, you can be excited about Larkin, who's our best player. You can love what Bertuzzi brings, the edge, the excitement, but those are our best players.
Hey, we don't have a coach.
We're pumped that they scored 30 goals in a year. These other guys are scoring 60 goals right now. 60
Austin
goals.
Matthews,
How long was
Connor
it?
McDavid.
Yeah, but how long was it before we had a guy score 30? I mean, like,
That
how long
was- yeah.
since?
We had
So step one
2 guys
is to
score
get
30.
somebody score 30.
Yeah.
Right? We had
Yep.
2.
And I'm sorry, but the Larkins and Bertuzzis, who we're trying to build around, who a
Should
lot
be
of people
our average players.
should be our average players. They would be average players on other teams where other teams are scoring 60 goals with the Stars.
So I like what Jarrett said, because this is something you've brought up before, is how close are the Red Wings to being like the Rangers? And
That is yes.
What did you say?
I said
a
all right.
week
So
ago?
everybody looks at Colorado and Tampa, and mainly Tampa, and like this is what the Red Wings are trying to become. This is
That's
the team that they want.
seemingly
That's
light years
That's
away.
the easiest thing to say. Like this is who we're going to become. This is who we're building. Like I look at the Rangers, and we are building more like them. We're doing it now. They got some firepower up front that we don't. But like I look at the way Yzerman's doing it with the goalie, and I know that's also the Tampa's model. But like I don't know. I look at the Rangers as that's what will become way before we're even close to the Tampa level, I guess. If that
New York is the first step.
New York is the 6th step.
Well, I mean,
Don't you just want to collect
Hold
a bunch of like really good pros though, and then have one of them step up above the rest? Like
Yeah.
maybe you're not the best player in the league, but maybe you can be the best player on your team.
Yes,
And rise up.
That would be
right?
great.
And then that's your 45 goal scoring machine.
That would be great, but it's neither Larkin or Bertuzzi.
Well, no, it's fine, and that's what I'm
But
saying.
that's
Like
where-
they're part of the process.
That's where you have to get like a Vrana to just strike gold and become a better goal scorer, stay healthy.
So Jared also has one that says a comment that's saying that Colorado's not used to goaltending and great defense. So he's pumped about the Lightning,
Yes.
about their defense, and just raving about how good their defense is in conjunction with their goaltending. Is that maybe an approach that the Wings are going towards?
It feels like it, but I don't know.
Does great defense set up great offense?
Yeah, I mean it can, but it's not necessarily. It doesn't set up great offense, but It allows your forwards to take more chances, I guess. And you know what? I'm going to step back. And I've said that they're building more like the Rangers, but you look at Yzerman's draft with the big defensemen, it's silly to say that it's not like
Tampa.
the way Tampa was built.
Yep.
That's a very silly statement, but Rangers also have that as well. Man, I just...
You know what? I like that Stevie is here doing what he's doing and watching what has transpired from what he's done in Tampa because he can learn from his mistakes after that success that he's watching.
Or his
He
successes.
put that together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, and you just look at the Red Wings, and they are so far away, but they have a lot of cap space. They can go out, make aggressive moves. Go get Trocheck. Go get Johnny Gaudreau. Bring up a couple defensemen, maybe sign a veteran defenseman too, and all of a sudden you become that much better because you don't rely on Larkin to be your leading goal scorer. Again, I would love it if Larkin works out. I would. I just don't see it being him being our leading scorer. And I've said this before. I went into my coach's office 2 years ago, or like my second to last year. I said, if I'm your leading scorer, that's a problem. Go get goal scorers. We went out, we got goal scorers, we lost the national championship. I scored like 6 goals that year instead of 35. But
Man,
we went further.
What I said.
But
I
that's
said,
like exactly.
I am a goal scorer.
But like, if I'm the goal scorer, that's a problem. I'm your best defensive forward. I'll set guys up. I'll do that. But I'm not your goal scorer. If I'm the best goal scorer, that's a massive problem. And that's handcuffing us. And that's what I think Larkin is. He's not that. He's not a 40 goal scorer. He's the 30 goal. What are you laughing about? I just pushed a button. Hopefully I didn't.
No, I hate to cut you short. This is just a flight topic. This isn't a full-on Red Wings
Oh, we took it off and we're letting it roll. I mean,
Let's take flight, guys.
yeah. We should move on to mine.
Right on to you, man.
We were going to talk about John's, which was going to be Live versus PGA, which I would have loved. I really wish that he would have been able to make it today. He had some obligations that got in the way, so he wasn't able to be here.
It's fine.
But like, real quick about the Live Tour and the PGA. If people don't know what that is, but like, the Live Tour started last week, and then they suspended all of the players that went in PGA.
Isn't that crazy?
But the PGA does not control the majors, other than the Players Championship, maybe.
Players.
I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Other than that, so now here we are
PGA?
a week. The PGA champion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we are a week later, U.S. Open. All these guys are coming back, and oh my gosh! And there was a really funny thing that Rory McIlroy said. So he won a tournament that nobody cares about in Canada this week
because nobody else was there, right?
Yeah, but like he wins it, and then all of a sudden, like he took a shot at these guys hard, and he's been really hard on them, which is I just think funny. Like one thing he said, he goes, I've had I want to say 28 to win. I'm not positive on that, but like I got to 28 wins, which is one more than one other guy, and it was Greg Norman who's running but like you got this.
Yeah, but
Live
not as
Tour.
much as Phil.
Yeah, that's true. But you got this Live Tour and PGA guys coming in, and they're going to be like, is this going to be a huge rivalry like this
so.
weekend? Like, I might actually turn on some golf.
There's going to be some tension in the air.
Do you blame the guys playing in the Live Tour?
Not at
Dude,
all.
They're getting so much money.
So much. And I'm assuming, like, I look at the PGA similar to I look at NCAA. Is they're as corrupt as you know what.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just going to get exposed.
Well,
and these guys are like, screw you. You're making money off of me.
How much?
You're not paying me.
How much money did Phil get? With his
200
contract?
million, I think it was?
200 million right away. Why wouldn't you? I'm sorry. He's played in the PGA for, 30-plus years?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Go make your 200 million now.
Oh, yeah. I would chase that money being at the top of my game.
Dustin Johnson,
honestly,
same thing.
I wouldn't tell people to, at middle class, like, go chase money. It doesn't really end well. But when you're a golfer, when you're a professional golfer and someone says, here, just take $100 million.
Yeah.
$100 million to come play over here? Yeah, you go take it.
Just take the money. Take the money and run. Kyle says Yankees looks wrong.
Yep. Jared says Justin Thomas, John Rahm, and
Will Zalatoris.
Zalatoris, top 3.
Mark my words. All right, those will be my draft later on. Unless you guys take them. I don't know. He also brought up the
Sox
Tigers.
sucks.
Red Sox come in for that, Kyle.
Yep.
Wild card life, baby. If they even they're probably as many games out.
Watch out. You got to beat the Tigers first.
Yeah, those Tigers, those pesky Tigers. All right, last week, our episode was about our biggest fears in Michigan sports.
Biggest
and
fears.
We hit all of them. And people are mad because it was a very negative episode. People were mad with our comments and our biggest fears.
Really?
We had we have two guys on here commenting back and forth that were probably two of the bigger proponents of
Torkelson sucks.
But like
Kyle.
people don't realize this was a negative
It was negative
topic.
to start.
We were negative about Michigan. We were negative about Michigan State. We were negative about the Tigers,
Negative
even
about
though they're
the entire
amazing.
state of Michigan.
Everything was negative, and then I'm getting texts like, you guys really don't know what you're talking about when it comes to this and this. And these are opinions. These are what came to our
Wait, it's the biggest
mind.
fear.
What's that?
It's the biggest fear.
Did you
Yes.
listen last week?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't
No,
mean to
I
put you
didn't.
on the spot. Yeah, of course you listen.
Yeah, of course I listen, but remind me.
What were our biggest fears?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to say that, but wasn't this whole topic a biggest fear topic?
The whole episode was literally just going off of all of our teams and talking about each team's biggest fears.
So that would be
biggest
a
concern.
negative viewpoint from the beginning, right?
Yes. But we were fair to Michigan, but we were unfair to Michigan State. We were fair to the Red Wings, unfair to the Pistons.
This feels like Jarrett's a problem. That's I'm just saying that out loud.
Well, there's other people that think like Jarrett.
Yes.
So,
Anyways, all right. So I did want to I pulled up some YouTube comments that our videos got after the fact. That we'll post all of our topics onto YouTube. You can comment and we'll try to read them throughout the next episode and stuff. But all right. So I did want to start with just a few.
Go diving, Jarrett.
All right. Anyways, we did get a comment from Michigan in our Michigan video. This was about, I want to say yours, or it was kind of a group one.
Yeah, it was a group.
Biggest fear of J.J. McCarthy and just like the quarterback situation, that Harbaugh doesn't handle the quarterback situation correctly. Not saying it needs to be J.J., not saying it needs to be Cade, but we were concerned in our fears.
If he gets it wrong.
If he gets it wrong, it's a huge setback, basically was what we were at. And then, so CJ Wolverine, I think he's a Michigan fan, I'm guessing, based on this comment and his name. But anyways, he commented, he said, if JJ can't beat out Cade this summer, then there's your answer. If he's such a superstar, then he shouldn't have a problem beating out Cade.
Seems like well calculated. Before we get into it, it seems well thought out.
The comment?
Yeah.
I agree with him.
It is, and it's very blunt and frank.
Like,
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all. But at the same time, that's our fear. That's why we're afraid. We're afraid that JJ is the better quarterback. Let's just use JJ as the guy that should get the job. He is the better quarterback, but Harbaugh, the way he does business, the way it goes, that's our fear.
Yep.
That doesn't matter.
And why do you have that fear?
Because we feel like it's happened multiple times.
Oh, there you go. And that's why I think it's a valid fear, because we saw Joe Milton win the job and then not even be able to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we saw. That's why it would be a fear.
Insert Tennessee backup here.
We saw all of those transfers come in and maybe beat out guys who are not as good.
Yep.
So I think the fear is because of Cade and where he is in the process and maybe his leadership skills, maybe also with JJ's injury playing a part in the lack of time in the spring and the summer. I mean, I think it's a valid fear, and I think it's also a valid comment, because if he's a superstar, he's going to win out anyways. It doesn't matter. Freshman, I'm thinking of other schools that they've had their starting guy start the season, and midway through, you just move to the better player.
Yep.
The fear's as valid as a fan, too. I mean, we've been through that experience. We've watched it, just like you said with Joe Milton. Like, we're not here to, pump up Michigan like we got it all figured out. Like, look what just happened. Like, we put Joe Milton in as the starter. We all praised him, and now he's the backup at a very poor SEC school right now. It's not a good look, and we know that.
And that's what we're afraid of happening again.
Here's what I think could happen. So the fear is that if JJ's not playing and Cade is going to take that time away from him, that Michigan's not going to be successful. If Michigan's not successful, they're going to make a change. They're not going to have any trouble changing their quarterback. Mm-hmm. And then it's about, you're going to learn if JJ is a star. So I don't know. I think maybe it's going to work out in the end. It might result in a year where you're not going to win a Big Ten championship because you wasted 2 or 3 losses.
Yep, that is a good. Yep, that's a good way to look at it. Jarrett commented. He said, "I'm so confused how Michigan finally gets to a playoff, beats Ohio State, and all of a sudden we're looking for a quarterback change."
Yeah,
he said "we're."
Well, no.
So is he a Michigan fan?
Yeah, he is.
That
Michigan
sounds
fan.
like a Michigan.
No, it's
'cause he said we're looking for.
self-professed. Yeah, right there.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
He just said it.
Just want to make sure that I'm on the same page there.
And that's the fear, right? Is that Cade's not good enough, and it was really an Aiden-led team or a senior-led team, and he was just doing his part. And now if we're going to rely the whole team and the offense on Cade, that he's not good enough. That's the fear, right?
I'm afraid either
let's be
way.
honest.
I'm afraid JJ could come in and be absolutely terrible, and Cade just double middle fingers like, screw you guys. I'm afraid of either. I'm afraid that it's just that he's not going to make the right choice. And that's his job. You know what I mean? Like
that Haskins maybe was better than we thought.
Yeah.
And it was a workhorse back that won games for us on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And Cade was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
And now that he's not there, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. But on the other side of the coin, what I do like is the absolute fierce competition that this is creating, because Cade is feeling heat from every point.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, JJ's hurt.
No, he's throwing. He's playing. He's back up.
It don't matter.
I don't care. The fan base is okay with Cade starting.
That's why they did that?
That's my feeling,
so,
at least.
Listen, at the spring game, they had an autograph session, I think, pre or post game, okay? And the line was literally around the stadium for JJ, and poor Cade had a few dozen people lined up for him. So what I'm saying is he feels the absolute disrespect on all levels. He's feeling it from probably his teammates. He's feeling it from the fan base. He's creating such competition. I mean, Harbaugh is. The team is just, they're going through a very big possible like power shift in QB change.
Yep. Anyways, it was I thought a good topic, and then a good comment, but at the same time he seemed mad with what we were talking about in a lot of ways. But all right, MSU football, we had a few comments here. We were very unfair to them, that's for sure. All right, so this one's by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Not bad.
Anyways, he says, "You guys obviously aren't paying attention to what's happening in East Lansing. That wasn't a serious conversation. When is he going to start recruiting? LOL, MSU had multiple 5-stars on campus and is in real good position to land the 5th overall player, David Hicks. Already have 4-star commits early in 2023 cycle. D'Antonio had 5 total in his last 4 recruiting classes. For the 2023, Michigan State is out recruiting Michigan, who is coming off a Big Ten title, their first Big Ten title this century. Not to mention Tom Izzo football building that's now under construction, which is going to make Michigan State's football facilities rival the upper echelon of the SEC schools. Get ready, fellas. Tuck coming."
So,
right.
So what was the topic about?
Okay.
That's what I want to know.
So a couple things. One thing that I said was, is Mel Tucker the real deal? Is he too confident in the transfer portal? Is he going to get better recruits? Is he going to get high-end recruits the way he's getting high-end transfer players? Because just as much as it can work out, it can also hit the fan basically with these transfer portal guys because they're leaving for a reason. You never know the baggage that comes with them, basically is what I was trying to get about.
Right.
I think I said, yes, I said, when is he going to start recruiting? I was dead wrong on that. I looked into the recruiting a little bit more. He's recruited a lot better than I realized. So I apologize for that. I think that's important. But at the same time, don't compare him to Mark D'Antonio as a recruiter. Mark D'Antonio's last 4 years, and use that to boost up Mel Tucker.
Wait.
In my opinion.
Hold on. D'Antonio left the program in shambles.
I agree.
Tucker brought all this on and had an amazing season. Nobody should question what he just did last season.
None of us did.
Because
No,
they were picked to be under 500 by a long shot.
Yep. None of us did.
And they had a great season.
Our biggest fear was that it's not a long-term solution, that it's not going to work long-term. Is he going to leave? Was brought up. That's a fear. that Michigan State fans should have because he was doing it after year 1B. You know what I mean? Like, it was that quick. Yeah, you're paying for him. But is it NFL? Is it a SEC school? There are other options. And that's the same thing with Michigan. This isn't a Michigan State thing because Harbaugh could leave too. That's a fear of ours as well.
I don't think it's a Mel Tucker thing. It's more of, is this a senior-led team? It's the same thing with Michigan right now. Like, was this team led by a special group of seniors that stepped up and did their job? You know?
Michigan was.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah. Or is this sustained success? And same thing with Michigan State. Is this a group that had enough and stepped up and competed, right? And had an amazing season.
Right.
Lived up to the expectations that they should, or even exceeded expectations for their coach, and now they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
The Panaschiks, the what's his name? Running back?
The running back, Kenneth
Walker. Kenneth Walker. So did those guys, were they kind of a one-off, like a first-round draft pick, second-round draft pick type of guy with Kenneth Walker, or is this going to be something that Mel Tucker earned?
Exactly.
So
will you get a Kenneth Walker Jr. again? Because they don't grow on trees, and they don't leave schools very often either. That seems like more of the anomaly. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to happen every year.
Yeah, what I think you can guarantee is that Mel Tucker knows what he's doing coaching. They seem to play for him, and it was obvious from game number 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think you know.
Yeah.
I think the fear is absolutely valid, where you might not be like contending for Big Ten championships. Look, Michigan State should have won a Big Ten championship last year.
Yeah,
like they were good enough.
They didn't lose to Purdue.
If they beat Purdue, they would have won Big Ten championship.
Mm-hmm.
They had a very great opportunity to do that. So could they do that year after year? No, maybe not. But they're definitely not the under 500 team that we were. It was kind of an unknown going into Mel Tucker's season last year. What they were. We know they're not that anymore.
Yep.
Okay, so great. Move on. What's the fear? Maybe you're average.
Yeah.
See, and what was the whole topic?
Our biggest fears.
The biggest fears. This isn't
for each
like
team.
you gonna go tell your buddy like my biggest fear is we're gonna win like
my biggest
3
fear is
Big Ten titles in a row.
Yeah.
Like
nobody's afraid of that.
Public perception saying D'Antonio left them in shambles also is exaggerated. How is that exaggerated?
No.
Is that
It's not exaggerated at all, Jarrett. I'm sorry.
That was after signing day. That was after like all of
a $12 million bonus or something like that.
Yeah, that was after the program had direction for the season.
It was in shambles,
and it was going into COVID and everything else. Like that was a
really bad look. Very bad look.
Yeah.
Not saying he was a bad coach.
No.
Not saying what he doesn't erase all of the Big Ten championships he had.
Rewind to when that's the whole reason we thought they were going to win 2 games.
Yes.
Right? Because D'Antonio screwed them over.
And they only did win one game that year, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 games.
The way
the
way he left them in shambles. Don't even pretend.
And when he did it.
Now we're looking at them,
saying.
And that's what I'm saying is the success of Mel Tucker. So don't underplay Mel Tucker.
No, not at all.
But the fears that they're average and not competing for championships. That would be the fear.
Only time will tell.
All right. One other one we had was start recruiting.
They're on the right
Tucker
track.
is going to finish with a higher. Same. Basically, another comment by J.J. Runyon. Isn't that a player? Runyon?
Yeah, Runyon was.
That's John Runyon.
John Runyon?
Yeah.
Where was he from? He wasn't in Michigan State, was he?
His middle name probably starts with a J.
Michigan guy. John Runyan.
Oh,
not
okay.
Runyon.
I knew there was a player.
I will say that Michigan State's doing a great job recruiting.
And I did want to bring up David Hicks' crystal ball is 100% A&M. So if that means you're going to in the running, so be it. And then we did have some Pistons from Briller, Brillr. The Pistons aren't pushing for mediocre. Trust me, because I said, not that they're pushing for mediocre, but I said, is that going to be are they going to be okay with it if they get there? You know what I mean? Like, is that the end, not the end goal, but is that the goal and they'll be content with sitting there like they were for the previous decade, basically? And then he also said, I don't suggest judging a player who hasn't even started his second year yet. Again,
that was me talking
baller.
about Cade.
This is our biggest fear segment. Our biggest fear is that Cade Cunningham's not very good. Not as good. That is a fear of ours. That what we saw last year is what he is. which is great as a rookie. But is that it's going to be as high as he goes? That's a fear of ours.
You know what I appreciate about all these listeners? They remind me of all of us. We're a little bit passionate.
We're
a
fans.
little bit fierce.
We're fans.
We're all fans of these teams.
He's 19 years old. I think we're fine.
If it's craft beer in Michigan sports, we may not be the authority, but we love both like a fat kid loves cake. Hot, hot! This is State of My Sports.
So from that positive conversation to another, the Detroit Tigers.
We are crushing it.
So good. So good. They're talking Yankees and Red Sox.
We're only at an
Look
hour.
out for the Tigers. What's that?
We're only at an hour. We're just getting now into our first segment.
Well, we're going to move through these other two.
Yeah, we will.
I think it'll be fine. We'll be all right. And
We're
Kyle's not here to push us out the door.
We're
so.
not even talking wild card, boys. I mean, we are.
I was looking
We
it
are
up.
upper echelon.
We're 6th from the bottom, and we're really bad. We're only 6th from the bottom.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. I was like, no, be worse. If we're gonna suffer through what we're suffering through, be terrible. Get the first overall pick and try again with a new GM.
Yeah,
Be-
but
Anyways.
look,
better.
we're only 3
All right.
off of the worst.
Let me set this up. All right, let's start with the Tommy John news with Casey Mize.
No. No.
Sucks. Absolutely sucks. He's basically out to 2024, right? And then he's going to be treated with kid gloves for 2024. And then he's 28 years old, and then we're releasing him to the wild and
all the
have
way
to make a decision on
2024,
him.
he probably won't be kid gloves, but no, I get your point.
I mean, coming off of Tommy John, that kind of happens. And there's different grades of Tommy John, right? I'm not saying this as a doctor, but I'm saying you get the Tommy John that ruins a guy's career, and you get the Tommy John that just is a setback for I think Tarek Skubalo's had Tommy John, right?
Yeah.
So
in
it
college-
didn't kill
college,
his MLB status, but
Tommy
at a younger,
Tommy John typically does not ruin a career.
not often, but like a guy like Steven Strasburg. I'm not saying it ruined his career, but he was the it guy, the number 1 pick, all of that, and then he just dropped down. Good pitcher, has his days, has his seasons that are really good, has seasons that are okay. Is that what we're gonna if that's what we get from a Casey Mize look, I know we kind of got to get into what he has shown and kind of the pitching changes, you know what I mean? He all of your biggest fears heading into Casey Mize are coming true, and that's the scary part, because it's not even the injury. It's when he was healthy, it was still what was his strikeout pitch. He stopped throwing his number 1 pitch because it wasn't good, right? His splitter.
Yep.
Now, is that because of an elbow issue, or the Tommy John that's in the elbow, or is that in the shoulder? Tommy John's in the
Tommy
elbow.
John's elbow, yeah.
So is that a
UCL.
reason why somebody would stop throwing a splitter, because they don't trust their elbow? I'm asking you.
Usually slider along those lines.
Okay.
Harder. It's the UCL in your elbow right here, on the inside. The yeah.
That has been painful before.
Yeah, has it?
Oh, yeah.
So put your pinky and your thumb together, and then move your wrist inward a little bit. Do you see that ligament in the front pop up, like mine? Do you see mine pop up right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Do you
it.
see that?
Yep.
All right, so that is the ligament that they take out and they put in your elbow. Some people don't
Serious.
have that ligament. All right, so when they have that ligament, or they don't have that ligament, then they go in your hamstring and they'll take out the muscle fiber in your hamstring and they'll wind it together and put it in your elbow, and that's what's replacing the UCL.
Wow.
Now, what they've been doing recently is actually taking cadavers, and then taking
Really?
body parts from the cadaver, and that's part of the new surgeries that they're doing.
And that's why it's gotten better and
Which
more
they're
successful.
which they're seeing has been increased, recovery times.
Okay.
So, a lot of cool things going on with science, and
Yeah.
I don't
Real
know.
science.
Yeah,
Actual science.
surgery and everything else, and recovery times. But that's what he's going through right now. Right here, it gets stretched out. So Casey Mize didn't even have a tear. He just had his
no, they
UCL.
did find a tear. They did find it.
No, they didn't. Not from what I heard. It was that it was stretched out too far, and it was no longer
Like rubber banding back.
Yeah, it was exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was not recovering at all. It was just stretched out too much.
I thought I heard that's what they thought And that's what the MRI was showing constantly, but then they ended up finding a tear. But I
Possibly.
might have misheard that. I didn't read it. It was just like in passing that
Well,
I heard that.
I might have read the last thing that you read before you actually heard the next
Yeah,
thing.
and I thought it was from I thought I heard it from the manager, AJ Hinch, but I could be wrong.
He called you.
Yeah, I talked to him, but the phone, bad reception.
Yeah.
We were going to do an intervw for the podcast. And
Detroit's got to work on their cell service.
Yeah,
It just messes things
Yeah,
up.
get a new area code or something. Maybe that'll help. But no, I don't remember where I heard it. But
Double it.
I thought that they were confident that there wasn't a tear and then that there was. But you're very well. You're probably right on that. But anyways, the Tigers are awful. Even outside their 24-35 record, I don't know what they're doing right now. I think they're down 4-3 last I saw. But they're batting. They have 162 runs, dead last in the MLB. Their batting average is .218, which is 28th. On base percentage, dead last. Slugging percentage, dead last. Judge and Rizzo combined have 9 more homers than the Detroit Tigers altogether in 59 games.
They just went. The Tigers hit a home run today. It was their first home run in 9 games.
That is just
Dead
sad.
balls,
As a team.
dead ball world or not, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen.
No,
and
I
you
agree.
can't blame the ballpark. They just got home like not long ago. They were in New York.
I agree.
They were in New York.
They're facing some good pitchers, but I agree. Yep.
The league average is 44. Scope leads the team with 5 home runs, which is tied for 67th in the league. The offense is just absolutely embarrassing. Hasn't gotten better. Isaac Paredes has 5 home runs. He'd be tied for leading our team if we would have kept
I liked him. I always
I know
liked him.
I know we did. Mets have 154 more runs scored than the Detroit Tigers, who's at 162. They've almost doubled our runs scored.
Yep.
This is just Pittsburgh is the only team that's below 200 other than us. They're at 199.
I just read an article that Tarek Skubal was second in line for AL Cy Young.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No, I'm just saying.
Before his last start, which didn't go great, but
It didn't go great.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
but still,
you're right.
like,
He's been dominant,
it's
but
insane.
beside that last start, he's been absolutely dominant. And then guys like Alex Faedo has stepped up.
yeah, he's been
Our
he's been
bullpen
very
has been
consistent.
lights out. I don't care
Second in the
what you
league.
think. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Who are the other young guys? I'm drawing blanks.
Well, so you brought up Faedo, Skubal. Those have been our 2 main starters since the injuries.
Yeah.
Manning should be coming back, which would be fine. But like,
Yep, pretty soon. We haven't had Casey
Elvin
Mize.
Rodriguez hasn't been good.
He's been bad.
Man, who else is even starting? I mean, Pineda's out. Eduardo Rodriguez is.
He's been out.
They literally just. I didn't read into this yet. I was so mad that I didn't get a chance to because it came out so late. But he is not coming back due to personal reasons.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so he's been put on a list that doesn't get paid, doesn't hurt our 40-man roster, and is just not coming back.
Personal reasons?
Yep, not coming back.
Do you know what those are?
I do not. Nobody knows. I don't want to speculate personally, but
But you do.
I want to know what it is.
Okay, so Bo
Bo
Brisky
Brisky, that's the other one. Yep.
is
You got us the
second
first
on
one.
the team in innings pitched right now.
Is he second on the team in wins with 1 or no?
Well, no. Alex Lang is, I think, with 3.
Yeah, right. It's got to be
Reliever.
a bullpen guy.
No, but we've been going through the season with Tarek Skubal, Bo Brisky, Eduardo Rodriguez early on, at least not lately. Alex Faedo, Garcia, Willie Peralta.
He started today, right, Willie?
No, Garcia did.
Oh, Garcia.
today.
All right.
Yeah, but these are guys who are not supposed to be the starters. We're supposed to have Casey Mize, Matt Manning. We're supposed to have who's been out?
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Michael
Rodriguez.
Pineda.
We're supposed to have what's his name that's supposed to be coming back from Tommy John at the end of the year.
Funkhouse. Or no, Turnbull.
Spencer Turnbull.
Yeah.
Like those are the building blocks. And so when we said early on in the season that we needed 6, 7, 8 starting pitchers, this is the reason why.
Yep.
We're on
Right.
we're on starting pitcher number 10, 11.
Yeah, we are.
And so, like, the fact I look at it and say I was not expecting them to make the playoffs this year anyways.
Yeah, people were a little higher than
Yeah,
than others.
so if we have starting pitchers like Bo Brisky and Alex Faedo and a big left-hander that shouldn't be up yet, but from the Braves,
Joey Wentz.
Joey Wentz. If those guys are getting time in the big leagues, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Sign me
okay
up.
with it.
Sign me up. And then later next year, when we have all these guys back and hopefully Casey Mize at some point mixed in. Yeah, but now you're building something bigger. And I think people need to keep that in perspective.
And the pitching's the least of our worries.
No,
the starters have been good enough. The bullpen's
on.
been great.
Yeah.
The hitting is the issue.
The hitting's the issue.
When are we allowed to be mad about that? And who are we allowed to be mad at?
This
is it a
what
hitting
I
coach?
to ask.
Is it AJ Hinch, who I don't want to say a bad thing about? Is it Alavila that we have probably 6 Peraltas or Castros in our lineup? Or what is the issue? And who am I supposed to be mad at? Is it the hitting coach? Should I be mad at Scott Coolball, who was a career 214 hitter? So that's why we're hitting 216, a little above his career average?
No, because his name sounds like Skubal, Tarek Skubal, who's second in.
Cool ball. Cool ball.
You honestly stole my thunder over the last
I'm just so
3 minutes. I
have
wanted
so
to
much
know
anger.
who to blame.
I have so much anger,
Yep.
and I continue to point at Avila personally, and I don't know if that's fair. I don't. And for the people that miss it, so on Sunday they had the celebration of Miggy. You got those 2 milestones. They wanted to bring in some old people. I think Jimmy Smokes was there, Victor
6-0.
Martinez, and they had 2 hits after that game, or during that game. But for the people that missed it, Alavila was booed. Chris Illich was booed. Javi Baez was booed. I'm not happy with Baez, but
It's kind of an ugly scene.
I'm sure if they announced the Scott Coolball, he would have been booed too. Who deserves this blame? And it's probably an unfair question because it's the players. That's what a baseball player would answer, right? The players are to blame. And I agree with that. But that's not the way the baseball world works. Somebody needs to take this bullet before it just keeps on going. You know what I mean? And that's the hard part is
who are we splitting the shrapnel with?
make a change. Do something
Change
to
what?
show that this isn't okay.
No. That's not okay.
What do you mean it's not okay?
Are you talking about firing somebody?
Fire somebody. Fire the equipment manager.
No.
Fire the doctor.
No.
Fire somebody. I
No,
need
that's
somebody's
bullcrap.
head on
Fire
a
the
platter and be like,
doctor.
here you are. This is
Screw
I
that.
do need that. Why?
No, because things happen. Real life happens, right? We just had the Atlanta Braves go from I need somebody's head on a stick, whatever. I need to know what's going wrong to then winning 12 straight games or whatever they're at right now, and now everybody's talking about them winning the World Series again.
But it's funny because the opposite was the Angels fired Joe Madden.
Yeah.
And was it the Phillies? The Phillies
So
fired.
you think Joe Madden was the problem?
No, I don't.
Even though he took the Rays and the Cubs and did all these things with, and he's a proven manager.
I'm just saying
if
it's another route.
Is AJ Hinch the
But
problem, we should fire him.
But the Phillies fired Joe Girardi, and they went on a nice little run out. They played better.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that.
I don't think he's saying fire AJ Hinch, and
No.
I don't think we're
Why?
going.
Why not?
Why not fire AJ Hinch?
Yeah.
No.
Because he's a proven.
Okay. All right.
No.
Perfect. So are you gonna let him decide who runs being the hitting coach and the pitching coach?
I love our pitching coach, first of all. But yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah. So let him make those moves. You do not fire somebody to make an example out of them just to rile your team up. No, let's
not
look.
the way professional sports work.
I don't care how professional sports works. They make rash decisions that are not logical.
But they also make decisions that really don't affect
Victor
the
Reyes
team.
has been on the DL. We've been relying on Daz Cameron for a long time. Derek Hill's been on the IL. Austin Meadows been on the IL. Willie Castro didn't even start the season with the Tigers. He's back with them. We're relying on him. He's actually been pretty good. Harold Castro is in the lineup every day right now. Grossman's been out. Torkelson's been worse than we thought he would be right now. I don't care. He's 24 years old, 23. He's a rookie. I don't care. Candelario's been hurt. Cabrera's been pretty good, actually. Baez terrible. I told you that early
He wouldn't
on.
be.
He shouldn't have been. Yeah.
Okay.
Scope has been worse.
So who do you
There
blame?
are
Who do you want to
reasons.
blame
Hold
then?
on.
Tell me who you would blame in this scenario.
It's baseball.
The hitting's been questionable all year, though.
What is a sign of a good player? When they go through a bad stretch, and work themselves out of it. Akil Badu's been, he's in the minors now. He was bad.
He's been bad in the minors too.
Okay, so as a hitting coach, Shouldn't they be able to work out of their slump just like a hitter should be?
I don't know.
I think he should. I think that's a learning opportunity. Again, I look at this year and say this is not a year that we were expecting them to win the World Series anyways.
Okay, but it's also not a year that we expected them to take steps back.
What's a step back? They have the same roster as last year plus additions.
And
So why is Riley Green should have been on the team to start the year?
All right.
He's not on the team.
So this is the same roster that we brought, right? In additions, we spent money, the fourth most money I think we spent in MLB. So then is Alavila to blame because he didn't bring in the right guys? He didn't spend the money on the right guys? He brought back the same guys that sucked last year and sucked this year?
So Baez, should we have gone after
Correa
instead?
Correa's been a little better, not
he
much.
has like 4 home runs.
But Trevor
Like
Story's the best one of them all out of those free agents right now.
So
and he was a terrible start. He had a terrible start to the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Get rid of Al. We all know that.
So all these guys were booed. Chris Ilitch booed. Alavila booed.
Okay, don't boo
No,
Chris. Don't boo Chris.
Why? Why wouldn't you boo Chris? He's one that's put Alavila in here for 7 years. Guy that's well over his head in his job. Doesn't know what he's doing. Sucks at 3/4 of his job and continues to be there 7 years later.
Okay, come on. It's the principle of it. Don't boo the man that owns Detroit, runs the sports, okay? Just don't boo the man.
Yeah, I don't think you blow everything up just because of this start. You can look at injuries across the board and say we don't have Casey Mize, we don't have Matt Manning, we don't have so many of these guys that we were relying on.
But again, that's not the issue. The pitching's not the issue, though. Again,
I read you like 6 guys who are starting in the lineup day 1 that are not in the lineup right now.
I know that because they suck and they got hurt, right?
Because they got hurt. There you go.
But Candelario's really been bad when he's healthy. Grossman's been really bad when he was healthy.
So we started the year bad, yeah.
Eric Haas has been bad when he's been healthy.
Torkelson was one of the worst players in minor league baseball the first 2 months of the year last year.
I do get all that. All right.
And then he went from high A to double A to triple A, and then we were pumped about him in spring training.
So let's move on to the next topic. Next question. Torkelson. Let him go, just learn here, or do you send him down to gain confidence? Because I'm in a boat of keep him up. Let him figure it out. But I know you've also been one of those guys that's been like, no, keep him down. There's a reason why they're down.
Yep.
But now that he's here, is it different to not send him down, or would you be okay with sending him down and letting him
This is
do
psychological warfare.
to send him down, right?
Well, it's about what the person needs. And I could see him being a professional enough hitter in his mind where you keep him up and let him work through the struggle and like get the victory in the end.
Yeah.
And I can also see like the kick in the butt where you send him down and
refocus.
Then the pressure's on and says, no, hold on. I'm better than this. I'm going to change something. Like now my mentality's different. Now I'm attacking. And so it's whatever he needs, the kick in the butt, whatever needs to happen is on AJ Hinch to figure out.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think you can know unless you're in the dugout.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's psychological.
What would you do? Like, obviously you don't know.
I would send him down.
You would send him down.
I would send him down. You have complete control over him. There's no like risk at all. And the embarrassment might trigger him to like change something.
Yeah.
I remember when I was starting and then like I felt a change where I was not starting games I should have been. And I went to my coach and he said, Ryan, look at your stats. And I was like, screw you. I'm going to change something.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mentality completely changed. And then like, good luck keeping me out from then on.
But I think what stinks, I think you can see how keeping him up and sending him down would negatively affect how he performs. You could make a play for both.
Torkelson right now is stuck in he's trying to play to his strengths. His strength is being patient at the plate, and he's getting beat on fastball time after time after time. So he's playing to his strength. He's trying to be patient at the plate, but he's not ever aggressive. He needs to attack the ball. He needs to get out in front of the ball. Mm-hmm. And that's where he's losing. So if he goes to AAA, he can sit on fastballs more. Not everybody's working, backwards in the count. He can get his confidence, and then he can say, okay, now I can see the ball, and now I can feel that like getting ahead and getting the barrel out in front, and now I can win. So there's like he needs that feeling back.
So he has minus 1.2 WAR in 167 at bats, 31 hits, 4 home runs, a .186 average with 13 runs scored and 13 RBIs. Slugging percentage is .299, on base .287, and on base. So that puts on base plus slugging at .586. It's been a rough year for him. It has. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
and
the offense in general.
And the offense in general.
It's also hard to hit when nobody else is hitting.
That'd be something that I wouldn't know about. Next question, Riley Green. Does this season, the way it's going in Detroit, just tell you, keep him down, let him just be part of a winning team, let him be part of the AAA, and be the best player on a team rather than coming up and all of this pressure getting put on him? What would you do with Riley Green? I know. All right. As a fan, we all want to see him. That's the easy answer, right? Let him play. We want to see him. He could be our best player starting tomorrow. But for the scope of baseball and what an organization should do, is it better to keep him down in that situation? What would you do?
I'm not going to answer this yet.
Okay.
If I told you that Torkelson would be better with Riley Green in the lineup because he's got his buddy,
I did hear that.
How would you feel about that?
I think it makes sense. I really do. I think those two right there next to each other in the dugout, a little more comfort.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, camaraderie. That was the word I was looking for. But like they'd be more comfortable with each other. They're not necessarily guests. And I don't know the way a dugout works. But like when you're that young guy and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to sit here till I'm talked to, right? Like that's how I would be on a bench. Like I'm going to sit here till I'm talked to, and then otherwise I'm going to be quiet and talk to the coach and tell him what I should be let him tell me what to be looking at, all of those type of things. I would just sit there quietly and do my job. But if I had my buddy there, you can do your talking. And then all of a sudden, Riley Green gets in a good relationship with Willie Castro, and Torkelson gets in a good relationship with Miggy. Then it starts bringing in then you become part of the team. I'm not saying I don't know this dugout. I don't know that the way that they treat Torkelson, but like as soon as you have that comfort level, it changes everything.
It's not even about how they treat him. It really is about how Torkelson feels competitively with his teammates around him.
So you're saying like the competitive of, no, I'm the best rookie. No, I'm the best rookie. Like
yes.
Going through that thing.
We're on the same timeline. We're
the
same. We're both prospects. We're both up now. And like, I don't want to be bypassed. I don't want to be passed up because of this guy. I don't want to look a certain way. Like, don't assume that has no play in a dugout. I think the mental aspect of baseball is so underrated from a pitcher's perspective. We look at Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal last year and Matt Manning. You better believe they were competing against each other. They don't want to be, shown up by the next person. So Casey Mize had a great year. Guess what Tarek Skubal does in the offseason? He works his butt off.
Sure.
And he says, no, hold on. And that's kind of what I was predicting from the beginning. I think you could look at it the same way with Riley Green and Torkelson. I think they both play off each other's success. If Riley Green comes up and he's like, no, hold on, I'm a good outfielder, like I'm a good hitter, and he has any success, I think Torkelson now says, hold on, no, this is my place. I need to do something, and it lights a fire under his butt. He has maybe a different energy in the box, a little bit more, feel or a little bit more urgency about him.
Right.
Comfort, because he's surrounded by older guys right now, which is weird because we're in rebuild. It feels like we're in rebuild, but there's a lot of veterans within the lineup.
Yeah.
So Torkelson's kind of on an island. And so the more of these young guys come up, I think it's going to propel him up. It's going to lift him up a little bit and let him shine a bit.
Real quick, Jarrett says it's still crazy that a GM, as GM, the Tigers haven't developed a single bat. Legit, not one guy has developed. I think that's fair in a lot of ways because like Castellanos isn't a GM, like a Al Avila guy. Like, I don't know one bat that's really left and is good. That was a Al Avila guy. And we don't have any coming up. I agree with that. And then he also heard a stat that a third of the Tigers games this year, they haven't scored in the fifth first 5 innings. What is that word? The second word? So preparation for games, starting pitching sounds like a major issue.
That's dumb.
I mean, I don't like that. I think that's a silly statement.
No, it just means offense is bad. That's all we're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. But we just got the Castros in recent kind of games. They've improved. They've at least helped. So some of these guys that we are hoping to be good role players, we're relying on to be the middle of the lineup guys. They're not middle of the lineup. Again, let's get our guys in there. Let's get Riley Green in there. Let's get Torkelson when he's feeling good about himself. Mm-hmm. It's June. I get it. He should be turning a corner. Second half of the season, like, let's see. Let's start judging at that point. We judge 23-year-olds so early on in the process. I think let's give them a little bit of time.
Drinking craft beer, having fun, and talking sports in the state of Michigan. You're listening to State of My Sports.
So we went along on Tigers, but I still think we need to talk some Pistons. The NBA draft. I did want to talk about a couple rumors, kind of toss it over to Ryan. We'll move this pretty quick. But the first thing, so with things coming up, I've heard a ton of talk about DeAndre Ayton is, I don't want to say locked to Detroit, but it seems like their number one free agent prospect or target.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Because I've heard so many mixed reviews, but I've heard more negative about DeAndre Ayton coming to Detroit.
It's all about the money. If they're giving him a supermax deal,
well, it would also have to be a sign and trade. What are you trading for that type of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be sign and trade.
But it will be. I'm sure,
because
right?
they have like something like projected $34 million, which means you're not re-signing some guys like Frank Jackson, Hamidou Diallo, some of the guys that we kind of like coming off the bench. That means we'd be all in on a guy like Ayton, who is a pretty average player on the Suns. We think is average. He might do some little things that go unnoticed and everything defensively and switches, but you would like your team to only invest in guys like a DeAndre Ayton if they're performing or putting up big numbers. And that's what we're not seeing, especially come playoff time this year. Last year he did pretty well until the finals. This year his numbers were way off in the playoffs. So why would you invest a max deal in a guy who's averaging 7 to 12 points a game?
So he's not worth it.
Well, that's the argument.
He's not worth that max deal.
Yeah, that's the argument. Yeah. Yes. And that's my argument. If you get him and it's a reasonable deal, heck yeah, go get him. Like, it's a center who can move his feet a little bit and has some upside still and is young.
Yeah, which overpaying guys was the Achilles heel in a lot of ways. Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva. And then there was like an offseason that we had all this money and we were like,
Josh Smith.
Then we spent it on a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to say that DeAndre Ayton would be a crap, but I feel like it leans more towards you can find a guy like that way cheaper that will do what a center needs to do.
Yeah, we have a couple of options already on the team.
Yeah, the guy we traded for at the deadline.
Yeah, we have Isaiah Stewart that can move his feet and do. I don't know. He might not fill the need that we have across the board, but he's a really good, has a potential to be a good center in the NBA. Yeah. Whether that's starting or off the bench, it doesn't really matter. He could be good. Right?
Centers in the NBA aren't very valuable anyways to begin with, right?
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think Marvin Bagley III is the next guy that we traded for midseason. He was the lob threat, maybe bigger body and did pretty well. Is he a great defensive center? No. Can he block shots and guard the paint? Maybe not like we want.
But as long as he's not a mismatch.
Serviceable.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
He can move his feet.
Defensively, a center is about not being a mismatch, right? In a lot of ways, because that's, you don't want to get dominated by sorry, I can't think of the center, but like a Zion or down low. Like if you...
Yeah, Joel Embiid.
And then the guy from the Lakers.
Jokic.
Well, the guy from the Lakers is who I'm trying to think of. Anthony
Davis.
So it's like you don't want to be a complete out of your league type mismatch on the defensive side. That's what your job as a center, right? Because you're not going to be down. But I don't know. I'm done with the basketball. It doesn't matter.
And if you switch on a point guard, like you don't want to be like an easy like a Luka Garza.
Okay.
Garza gets beat by anybody who wants to drive past him.
Okay. So DeAndre Ayton, yes or no? Depending on
it depends on the
let's
contract.
not worry about the price though.
It depends on the contract. Look, if we get Ayton,
Is he a fit?
If we get Ayton on the Pistons, do I think we're a better team? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Does that mean that we're going to be a great team eventually? No, I don't think he's necessarily franchise changing. I think he's a part.
So he'd get us in that purgatory that we've talked about.
No. He's a part. He's a part, just like he is on the Suns.
Right.
They're a contending team with, Chris Paul, with Devin Booker, and then they have their third guy.
All right.
And maybe like a fourth guy mixed in, but like with Mikal Bridges. He's good. I think he improves our team. I don't think he's absolutely in need to make the Pistons move to the next level.
All right. Jeremy Grant, trade rumors. I've heard Memphis, I've heard Atlanta, and obviously Portland. Memphis, they've talked about a couple guys, Dylan Brooks, John Cockner, Killian Teal, and a 2022 first-round pick, number 22 overall. That's kind of what that package would be. And then the Memphis would get Jeremy Grant. Hawks, they said if they were to pursue Jeremy Grant this offseason, they have two players with salaries that match up in a potential trade with the Pistons, Bogard Bogdanovic and Danilo Jelani. What is it?
Danilo
Bogdan?
Gallinari.
And then pick 16. And obviously the Portland one would be focused around pick 7, I believe it was.
Yep.
How do you want this trade to happen if it happens? I know you're kind of on the fence of if you want it to happen, but let's say if it happens, do you want to get 7th overall pick, or would you be okay with getting like some guys that haven't just panned out where they're at now and take a chance on them?
I would lean toward the 7th overall pick because then we could pair number 5 with number 7
and move up to get who you really truly want.
No. I want numbers at that point. So if we get number 5 and number 7, then we could do something like a big and a guard.
Okay.
So then we get like a Ben Mathurin, at number 7, who's the big guard who can shoot threes and defend, and he adds value to the team, but he might not be the star we're looking for. We could pair him with a guy like Keegan Murray, who's the number 3 and number 4, who's the athletic power forward to replace Jeremy Grant, who we gave up in that trade, who maybe is a better shooter, a good athlete who can move his feet just like Grant and fill that role, but maybe a little
Grant
bit
role, yeah.
improved shooting long term.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
that's where I lean. I think there's some of these guys are like, I don't know, Dylan Brooks is intriguing. I think his playmaking ability is something that we miss, but we could also fulfill that if we go get a guy like Dyson Daniels. Like Dyson Daniels is somebody in the draft that nobody's talking about, who I think would be a really good fit with Cade. He's a big body point guard type of guy who could fill a wing role.
But that would be giving up on a Killian, right?
No, I don't think so. I think you could have 3 playmakers on the floor at the same time, just 2 of them in the wing role and one as a point guard who maybe doesn't get the ball bringing up the floor.
All right.
Like a Derek. I always think of Killian as a Derek Fisher or a Lonzo Ball type, where he doesn't need to play the point guard, meaning he has the ball in his hands all the time. He could play point guard, meaning he's guarding the point guard. And he can be the shooter on the outside, but he doesn't need to control the offense. Kobe controlled the offense for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Fisher was the afterthought, hitting big shots.
Mm-hmm.
It like quietly scoring 14 to 16 a game.
Yeah.
I want Killian to be able to fulfill that role and not being relied upon to score 20.
Can I ask you a really silly question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Point guard. That's the position. That's that's the position that people get labeled as.
Yeah.
That's more of a defensive label, right? Because you're guarding the point? Or what am I missing there?
I mean, guard,
honestly,
shooting
I've never
guard.
even thought about it. And this is might be the dumbest question. But
I think it's semantics. I don't think it's really worth jumping into.
But is that what it was originally designed for? Was to guard the point?
So what is a shooting guard designed for? To guard the shot?
Guarding the shooter? Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't think it's worth getting into. The one guard's the one. The two
Someday I
guards
want to
the two.
get into that though. Even if
Okay.
it's not on the podcast, like maybe just
No, think of it as
bourbon on the
numbers.
deck or something.
Think
Like,
of,
just
yeah.
deep dive into this and
I'm
figure
game
out
for
what
that.
it was.
I'm
like,
game for that
I'm
with
very
bourbon.
curious.
Not with a microphone. With bourbon, I'm 100%.
Maybe I'll
or
just
maybe
hide
scotch.
a microphone. Maybe I'll
yeah,
hide a
maybe
microphone.
scotch.
Tomorrow?
Well, I'm busy tomorrow. I
Yeah,
think.
me too.
Kind of busy.
That's why we moved to Mondays, because we're busy on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I'd make time for it.
I would make time for it. I mean, you tell me when.
Tomorrow?
and where.
You're on the spot.
No, we're not doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It sounds like a weekend thing. Come over to the deck and just sip
After
on
this
some
week,
bourbon.
this week
Come
honestly
over
is,
to the back.
Just come to the deck.
I'm
where we're,
officiating a wedding and I'm nervous.
are you?
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a fun topic for next week.
I need your wife to record this.
I need all 3 bourbons in me before I do
Are
that.
you allowed to do that?
All
Oh,
3
that's-
bottles?
No, just bourbons. Just a shot of each.
All 3.
A shot? or-
3
yeah.
shots and then let me go.
Our
Bless them
officiant
before
went to
God.
the hospital because he drank 3
Is it
fifths.
inside a church? Do you have to drink outside the church to go in? Yeah, I don't
I
know.
actually don't know anything. Just officiating.
that'll be fun. But anyways, that puts us in. Do we want to do mock draft, or should we just move on? That was
move
good
on.
enough. Pistons. We'll do mock draft next week. You guys good with that?
Yeah, mock draft next week. I think what's
We'll
important.
know more.
What's important this week is that like there's a decision to be made between some big names that we know, and I don't want to give up on the ones that nobody's talking about, like a Dyson Daniels. I don't know, and if we have 2, then maybe even a guy like Jeremy Sohan. So I don't know.
All right.
I mean, we'll get into it
These
next
are-
week.
these are
Maybe
names
this
that I
is a
don't know.
sneak peek.
Perfect.
I was watching some Dyson Daniels stuff, and that's the reason I keep bringing him up. You're like,
I
let's
can-
move on, Ryan.
I can tell. Oh,
From the Red Wings to Michigan State, we're talking about it. This is State of My Sports.
somebody explain Betting Hero. Micah,
Micah?
explain Betting Hero.
Oh. Betting Hero. Absolutely fantastic website. Go to bettinghero.com. Use the promo code MIBETS. They are a website that brings all of the greatest and latest promo codes on BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel. They bring all of the greatest promo codes to you. One-stop shop. Put in the promo code MIBETS.
We've been utilizing these a lot with my
You've
work
been
guys.
tearing it up.
Yeah, we've been having good times. But like we've been moving our money around. So like 1 week it's Kyle, he's our bookie for the week, and he's throwing in all the bets. So we do that on FanDuel, and then I signed up for Bet Rivers, which I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of Bet Rivers. We put all the money there, got a bunch of bonuses, did all that. Then we transferred the money to Jeff, and he's in
Yeah.
DraftKings. We've taken advantage on so many different promo codes. We're
Yeah.
just basically getting paid money there. It's a brilliant way to do it.
There's not 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, there are seemingly dozens
So
and
many.
dozens. I mean, and it's not just 1 week and they're done. It is week
Yeah.
after week after week. Go check in at bettinghero.com on a weekly basis. Remember, promo code MIBETS.
Perfect. So what we're going to do for the Betting Hero segment this week is we're going to have our U.S. Open draft bet or draft.
Poor John.
Dude, he was actually going to come. I actually locked him out because I was like, no, I don't want you a part of this episode of the
Poor John.
and dominate us in the U.S. Open draft.
I'm glad you locked him out.
All right, we got to. Oh, no, that is definitely not the right one. We got our draft for
Pick is in.
the bettinghero.com U.S. Open Draft. So I'm going to go over some of the favorites while Micah figures out the order. Unless you already did that.
I got it.
All right.
I got it.
Just
So-
have me going first. I don't care.
Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm are leading the way at 12-1 odds. Rory McIlroy 14-1 along with Justin Thomas. Then you drop down to Colin Morikawa at 16-1. And then our first Live Tour guy who is at 16-1 as well as Dustin Johnson. You got Xander Schauffele 18-1. You jump down to Will Zalatoris 28-1. I mean, I'm just boring people, but we have the order now, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Perfect. Ryan, Micah, Sam. Is that right?
Micah, Ryan, Sam.
Micah, Ryan, Sam. Worst looking to
You're in a
best
good
looking.
spot, man.
Perfect. Love that. All right, Micah.
It's a lie.
You are
a
on
lie.
the clock.
First pick.
Tell me when your pick's in, and I'll hit that cute little button I got there.
Cute little button. Pick us in. Dude, give me Scotty Scheffler, man. It's an easy pick. I feel like the man is at the top of the odds right now, but I think it's rightfully so. So, give me Scotty.
Scotty too hottie.
Scotty too hottie.
I feel like the U.S. Open is for like the long players.
You always get at least one in there. That's up there till the end, till he chokes. Usually.
So who's a long guy?
A long guy, like
Yeah.
like distance.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Bryson
I'm relying on
DeChambeau.
your, huh?
Bryson DeChambeau.
Dude, I'm not falling for that.
DeChambeau?
Well, he is a long guy. Like he hits the ball longer than anybody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's what you're asking.
He's
My
longer.
Are you
pick
talking
is
about
in.
long odds? I'm very confused about where you're going with that. I feel like it got inappropriate at times. but-
Well, yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I'm just doing something random. I'm going Cameron Smith.
Reach. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Where is he even on here? This is so funny because none of us are golf guys.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm sure John's at home laughing.
He's probably like, oh my God.
I want to take Brooks Koepka. I want to take Jordan Spieth. I want to take all these guys, and I'm like, no. Go against your. I don't know.
All right. I'm back to back. My first pick's in. John Rahm.
Ooh, surprising.
Is it?
No, he's second on the list.
Oh, I still haven't even found your guy. My second pick is in. I'm going Dustin Johnson.
Oh, you dog.
I want a live guy to win this so bad. I think it would be amazing and hilarious, and he's the best chance to do that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Pick is in.
We'll do it live.
Will Zalatoris.
Nice.
Crushing it right now.
Perfect. Cool. This is bad.
Wonderful. Pick us in. I'm going to take Rory McIlroy.
McIlroy. Coming off the big Canadian Open winner.
W.
My second pick is in.
It's fast.
Give me Shane Lowry.
Is that a real human? Is that real?
That's
Is that a real name?
Very real human.
I thought you were totally just going to go like down the board.
No.
Take the
At
odds.
25 to 1, huh?
Yep.
All right, Ryan. You're on the clock.
Oh, I am. All
You
right,
can
pick is in.
say the odds when you guys do this. So I know where to look.
I'm going to go with Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
At what? 14 to 1 odds. Excuse me. My pick's in. It's got to be Colin Morikawa at this point, right? I mean, he's the highest on the list there, so.
Sure.
The funny thing is, we never lay out the rules of this. I don't know why. We just kind of pick players and then we don't really know how somebody wins.
And then we move on.
Need rules.
My second pick might be in here soon.
Did I win last time?
I think John wins every time.
It's just the rule.
He does.
John decides the rules.
Spieth. At
All right.
22 to 1 odds.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Just how nervous
Do
she
I-
sounds.
Do I go again?
Yeah, you're on the clock.
All right. Pick is in. Brooks Koepka.
Jeez, wait for the music.
Do we count that, or is he a wash now? He's out.
Cheese, rice, and
No, I
crackers.
count it.
All right, and the last pick of the draft is in. I'm assuming it's in. Is it in?
What?
Is it in?
It's in. Pick is in.
Pick us in. Matthew Fitzpatrick. I didn't know you were doing a drum roll.
Matthew
You
Fitzpatrick.
can't just add extras in.
Where is that?
35 to 1.
35 to 1. And we're going to make John's picks for him. He's taking Hudson Swafford, Kevin Steelman,
Colin Moore.
Ian Polta, and Kevin Kisner.
If John wins it with those picks, I'm going to freaking
Wins?
lose it.
What?
Hideki Matsui.
What is... First of all, there's never a prize.
DeChambeau?
Second of all, we never lay out the rules.
Nobody
Okay,
took
okay.
DeChambeau?
Nobody took DeChambeau.
It's bragging rights. Just be happy with bragging rights.
I love being happy, and I love bragging to people.
Yes, you do. You do.
I'm not much of a bragger.
Same.
Do I brag a lot? I don't think I brag. I mean, my deck's amazing.
I don't brag either.
I'm bragging about how little I brag.
That was very nonchalant.
Can't help that I went to the Alps.
The Alps, man. The Alps.
It's not my fault.
Man.
It's your fault.
I'm not much of a bragger.
From the Red Wings to Michigan State, we're talking about it.
Yeah, we are.
This is State of My Sports.
I haven't had this much to drink on a podcast in a long time, at least 4 weeks.
Yeah, at least, right? It's been a full month. Almost. You guys
Man,
seeing this
you
lightning out
nailed
this
it.
way?
Is it a lot?
Yeah.
Is it big?
I've seen a lot.
It's a
I mean,
lot
it's-
and big.
I heard
what
80
she
mile
said.
per hour wind.
Really?
80,
Yeah.
Where?
which
Yeah.
is damaging.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
In Grand Rapids, it was high risk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We should probably just stay here.
At 5:30, that's when they were saying.
I'm not going
Or
home.
4 o'clock.
I'm not
Nothing.
going home.
The weather is always wrong.
That's true. It's going to be a light breeze.
Light breeze.
Did you know meteorologists are liars? They get paid to lie.
Thank you for the cool breeze, Betta.
Okay. They don't get paid to lie. They get paid to be wrong.
It's
lot.
an opinion
it's
like
true.
ours. I mean, it's just an opinion of what is going to happen.
You're wrong. I'm going to send a comment.
Every time,
After the fact.
every time I think of bad meteorologists, I think of that end scene in Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah. It is a
60%
30
chance it's already raining.
So funny.
gosh. That movie is seriously funny.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
it's a great movie.
We should just have a movie night.
Yeah, we should.
We should do a lot of
What
things.
did we say we're going
We
to do?
should do a lot more things than we do.
Yeah, we really should. Scotch, Mean Girls night,
What?
and what
Bourbon?
else?
Scotch. Bourbon.
Scotch bourbon.
Oh, figure out if a point guard means that he guards the point.
yes, we're going to talk about all that stuff.
Yeah.
As Mean Girls is on, while
Yeah.
we're drinking Scotch and bourbon.
And then we get together with our wives and we don't talk about any of those
Dude.
things.
Instagram live on our personal accounts and do this.
Hey, I smoked a cigar, a Cuban, in Germany.
What did
Really?
you think?
What was it laced with?
A Cuban in Germany?
What is a Cuban in the U.S. different than a Cuban in Germany? It's a Cuban either way.
No, I just
the
didn't
origin
think
doesn't
Germans smoked Cubans.
Well,
It just
You
it
just
was
recently
available.
were able to
Interesting.
get Cubans in the United States, right? You used to not be able to get Cubans in the United States.
Recently, I'm not
Allegedly.
sure. Maybe 5, 6
years ago?
you can get actual Cubans here?
You can now.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think I thought
don't
it
think
changed
you can.
recently. I thought it changed.
I actually don't know.
I love that episode of Seinfeld when he brings in the
And they're
Cubans.
rolling it so tight.
Yeah, but what is he rolling? It's not. Is it crepes? Like he's rolling. He like has them roll something other than cigars.
Yeah, what is
and they're
it?
like exploding at people.
Burritos,
Is
right?
it burritos? I
Or
thought, I thought they were crepes.
taquitos.
Well, it's something like that, and they're like exploding in people's faces
It's so
because they're used to rolling Cubans.
yeah, it's such a,
They're like sleeping in the dresser drawers.
oh my gosh, I forgot about that part. That's amazing. Probably very offensive these days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not back then. People weren't offended by that then. But anyways, we are drinking today. What are we drinking? What are we drinking, fellas?
Must be good stuff.
We're having a good time. They're
Thirsty?
closed today.
Minor.
We're just here.
So we're helping ourselves.
We're here anyways.
All right, Ben, I owe you a six-pack. We ran out of the so then we started cracking
We
into a
will pay.
We will pay for that.
Just talk to Sam.
Yeah.
'Kay.
He'll do it all. Who's
From
sending it?
DeHop's.
Kyle. Reach out to Kyle. He'll pay.
Yeah, I'm game.
DeHop's Brewing Company and Cafe.
In
He stopped commenting, so he's definitely not listening anymore.
Definitely Doers 12 hit him hard.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
Must be good. Scotch. Let's do it.
For sure.
Also, the cigar. Kind of fun.
Yeah, you liked it?
Kind of enjoyed it. Had a great night.
With
I don't think I've ever
The
seen you
bourbon,
smoke a cigar
right?
or anything.
No, you probably haven't.
Was that your first time?
No.
Third?
But you haven't. Maybe third or fourth. Yeah,
I've smoked
probably.
cigars at like weddings and stuff. We should get a cigar for Taylor's wedding.
Yeah, let's do it.
Freaking do it. Tell
Yeah.
us what kind of cigar to get. We're getting it. We're going.
Yeah.
Total Wine. We're
Let's
going
do
to the
Going hard.
humidor.
Yes.
Did I get that right? Humidor?
Yeah.
don't go
I
to
learned that-
Total Wine.
I learned that last
The
week.
heck?
No.
Sicilianos?
No. I will talk to you guys later.
All right.
Oh, all right.
Sounds good.
I'll wait here patiently.
No, it was fun though. I liked it. I actually really did like it.
I like cigars.
And
Every once in a while.
it wasn't the 9 shots that like made me feel a little bit.
That might have
the
something to
next
do
day.
with it. There might have been something else in there too.
Yeah, it
It
was
was a
probably
real
the cigar.
Cuban, so-
It was probably the cigar, but I'm not gonna say it was the 9 shots
Now,
or 7
however-
glasses of wine.
I like smoking a cigar, but I hate waking up and having
The-
that
the-
taste in my mouth
Waking
of like
up
the
is
smoke.
rough.
It's like, yeah, it's just,
It's rough.
and I don't enjoy it as much as I hate it. You know what I mean? So I'll do it in a couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm in a mood to hate a little bit more than enjoy.
Boy.
Let's experience it either
What are
way.
where are we at
All
right
right.
now?
Anyways, we're drinking the Thirsty Miner from DeHop's Brewing in Standale, Michigan. This is brewed for our friends at the Mines Golf Course. This is a brute IPA packed with Simcoe, Amarillo, and Citra hops, aromas of stone fruit, citrus, and pine, crisp on the palate with juicy notes of tropical fruit and pineapple, and it finishes extra dry.
I love how dry this is. Very, very good.
It's available
I didn't
in
even
6-packs.
I didn't even realize it was a brute.
Is that this?
Yeah.
Tis.
I
Really
love
good.
brutes during the summer. I do. Before we get into it, Carrie commented from Archival Brewing. I'm drinking Fritz Folly. It's a West Coast IPA, 6.8 IBV. It's
ABV.
so. What is it? What did I say?
You said IBV.
I've heard it both ways. It's so
You
solid.
swing both ways?
Great for a hot day. 8.1.
Nice. Archival Brewing. We should check
What
that
is
out.
IBV?
International Brewing Values.
IBV is something.
Bitterness, something, right?
Yeah, it is something of bitterness. Yeah, yeah.
Values. International.
IBUs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You sound familiar. Oh boy! All right, what do you guys think of this beer? I mean, we've had a good time tonight. Cheers to DeHop's for.
Must
Tell
be
me
good.
what
I
you
couldn't
think
find
of
my
it.
mug though. I was
Must
not
be
happy
good,
about
Dobbs.
that.
I haven't eaten anything all day.
Oh, this is going well for you.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So
Man. All right, gentlemen.
Ryan's 0 to 10
know
score
what?
is not bad.
It's going to be not so bad.
Not so bad.
This is a good beer, and I think this beer would be much better on the course.
6.7% alcohol.
You know, as we look out here,
Really solid.
It is
there's
solid.
nothing but
It's
dark,
actually a liquid,
rain,
not a solid.
thunder, and lightning.
Yeah.
I
I would love to
honestly,
be drinking this on a course. I would.
It's a freaking fantastic label.
It'll be interesting to see if I get on a golf course this year.
You will.
You think so?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're
together.
going in 3
2
weeks.
3?
3.
3
Really?
weeks. 3 weeks we're doing it.
Next week's Father's Day. We should probably just tell the women, hey, Father's Day weekend.
Yeah. Good luck.
Deuces. I know, right? I said it so confidently, but I'm the one that wouldn't say that. I would wait for you guys and be like, so, you know, the guys, we're thinking
can we do
we'd
this?
go golfing.
How ironic. On Father's Day weekend, Ryan's going, yeah, our wives are telling us what we're doing.
Yeah. We have
That's how
no
it
choice.
works, right?
We have no
Yes.
choice.
You can't not be a
Excellent.
You can't not be a father on Father's Day weekend. It doesn't work that way. Oh
No,
boy, getting in trouble. Let's keep going.
This beer, I'm going to give this an 8.2.
Solid score. Solid score.
What 8-2?
8.2.
Solid. That's a really good score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice score.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
never gonna touch double Hutch.
Great. All right. I'm going 8-6.
Whoa.
I like.
All right. No, look at how crisp
I love the
Yep.
crispiness
and
in this.
light it looks. So
Yep.
visually, you're set up for like a lager taste or something, but it's so much more. Than
So
that.
much more flavor.
Yeah, I'm
than a
going.
lager.
I'm going 8-6.
I love dry beers. Like the dry
They're-
PA from Grey Line.
They're enjoyable.
Their other dry one that they had, was it a rosé dry? Like a
Some-
no, they had
something
like
like
another
that.
one, but
That
was,
might be
was
what I
really-
like about it. How dry it is.
Yeah.
With the flavor though too.
Yes. Yep.
It's not lacking in flavor.
Big fan of this. I'm gonna go with a 8.4.
The dryness, it doesn't settle in your stomach like a heavy IPA. You know,
Yeah,
it,
but
it just kind of helps.
you're getting the alcohol.
Yep.
You're getting the bitters as well.
I think we're getting alcohol.
6.7's pretty potent, right?
I mean, I'm not feeling it. So
Rosé Brute, Sam. That's Carrie, correct? Yep, Rosé Brute. It was their Valentine's special. It came in that nice little glass bottle. Remember that?
thanks, Carrie.
It was very,
very good.
fancy.
Thanks, Carrie. Micah, you got permission to go golfing.
Perfect. Who are you going golfing with?
Really?
You need some pals.
You need to find some people to go golfing with. I'm not going
You know what's
golfing.
funny?
No, I'm just kidding.
Looking at you guys.
I
Now it's
might
up to
be
you,
able
ladies.
to. I gotta find my clubs. I put them somewhere and I cannot find them anywhere.
Maybe get some Cubans.
Hey, you know what? Let's go golfing with
Wait, you talking about
second string
cigars?
leather.
no. All right. Don't go golfing with second string leather.
Why not?
Do they go golfing?
They make
Golf
club
heads.
head protectors.
I'm not into the head like
Yeah,
that.
well, I make standard lifters, and I don't go around building dies.
You don't go around lifting things.
No, I mean, who do you think
Come
I
on, help a
am?
brother out, man.
Anyways,
Anyways.
Jesus,
We got permission.
that was episode 161.
Good way to end it.
It was fun. That was a really fun episode.
I
had
don't
a
know
good
if it was a
time.
good way to end it, but it needed to be ended.
It needed to be ended. That was episode 161. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you guys for recording.
Peace.
Talk to you next week, if not sooner.
You've been listening to State of My Sports. From the Red Wings to the Lions, to the Tigers to the Pistons, to Michigan and Michigan State, and everything in between, we're talking about it. And don't forget the beer. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. In the meantime, hook up with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at State of My Sports with an MI. We'll see you next time.